How to start over, financially from scratch and rebuild your life. What if tomorrow everything disappeared? Your account was empty, no investments, no income, not a single dollar. Would you know what to do? It seems unlikely, but millions of people have been through this, and most never recover. Now imagine that you only have your mind, your experience, and a chance to start over. What would you do in the first 30 days? How would you start making money again? And most importantly, how can you make sure this never happens again? In this video, you will discover how to rebuild your financial freedom from scratch, even after the worst-case scenario. And be careful, the last secret is the most powerful. It not only prevents you from going back to the bottom, it can accelerate your new fortune. Ready to start over? Chapter 1. The Impact of Ruin. Facing the Fall.
Imagine waking up on a normal day and discovering that all your money has disappeared, your bank account is empty, your cards are blocked, your investments have evaporated, and no source of income in sight. Your first reaction? Panic. Then a deafening silence. An inevitable question begins to echo. What now? This scenario, which seems extreme, happens more often than you might think. Financial crises, bankruptcies, scams, separations, illnesses. A single event can bring everything down. But what separates those who sink from those who rise? Again, the answer lies in the mindset. When everything disappears, what's left? Your experience, your ability to think clearly, and your courage to make quick decisions. This is the starting point, ground zero. And here, any new beginning is possible, as long as you face reality with brutal honesty. Before any plan, any action, you need to accept the fall. It's not about resignation, but about understanding. Understanding where you went wrong, what you ignored, where you trusted too much, and why you left vulnerabilities open. Great entrepreneurs who have gone through falls, such as Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, or even anonymous millionaires, have something in common. They see the fall as a diagnosis, not a sentence. If you lost everything, it means that some part of your financial system was fragile. Now, with that clear, the first step is to eliminate denial. No more, "This couldn't have happened to me." It happened. And the sooner you accept it, the faster the restructuring begins. And here comes the second point, managing mental chaos. A mind in despair sees no solutions. It only sees problems. That's why you need to act like a general in the middle of a war. Keep a cool head while everything around you falls apart. That's when leaders emerge. Money doesn't define who's rich. It is the ability to act intelligently under pressure. So take a deep breath. Write down exactly what your financial situation is at this imaginary moment. List the resources you still have: skills, contacts, tools, knowledge, time. You will be surprised to realize that you still have more than you imagine. Many people, when they lose everything, discover for the first time the real value of a network of contacts, an ignored skill, or even an idea that has been shelved for years. Rock bottom is dark, but it is also silent. And in this silence, the most transformative ideas are born. Starting over requires abandoning pride. It is time to eliminate any shame or ego. If you need to sell something simple on the street, you will sell it. If you need to ask for help, you will. Many millionaires started exactly this way, not with large investments, but with small, consistent actions supported by an unshakable mindset. Now, perhaps the question that is going through your mind is, but how do I start making money again? This question will be answered in the next chapter. First, keep this in mind. Losing everything is painful, but it can also be liberating. Because when you lose everything, you also lose your ties, your fears, your comfort zone. And finally, you can rebuild the right way, as if you were creating a new version of yourself. Stronger, more prepared, and this time, fall-proof. This chapter ends here, but your real journey of rebuilding begins now. In the next block, we will reveal the first strategic moves you need to make within 72 hours after the collapse. And remember, it doesn't matter how low you fell. What matters is how high you are willing to climb again.
Chapter 2. The first 72 hours. The immediate action plan.
The first 72 hours after a financial collapse are critical. They will determine whether you go into reactive mode or strategic mode. It is in this short space of time that many make fatal mistakes. Despair, debt, impulsive decisions, or worse, paralysis. But you will do it differently, because now your mind is focused, you understand the impact, and you are ready to act. The first step in the first 24 hours is to organize reality. Grab a pen and paper, or open a document on your cell phone. You will write down exactly where you are, how much money you have, if any left, which bills are overdue, what needs to be paid in the next few days, what resources you still have. Then make a second list, skills you have mastered and people you know. Don't underestimate this exercise. Sometimes a conversation with the right person is worth more than a bank loan. Now, the focus is simple, generating cash quickly. This is not the time to look for a formal job or create an elaborate business plan. It is time to get moving. You will choose a simple action that you can perform in up to 48 hours, and that generates any financial value, even a small one. This could be offering a quick service, reselling something, providing basic consulting, selling knowledge, using manual skills, giving online classes, using service apps, selling products on order, or even trading valuable objects that you own. The logic here is the same: breaking the inertia, getting out of the state of stagnation, because the first money that comes in, no matter how small, gives you a sense of control, and that changes everything. Now comes one of the points most ignored by those who are starting over: strategic communication. You need to tell the right people that you are available to provide services or establish partnerships, but do it intelligently. No whining or "I'm broke." That repels opportunities. Instead, say something like, "I'm focusing on quick value-generating projects with your skill X. If I know of anyone who needs it, I'm available." Short, direct, professional. This completely changes the way people see you. And yes, it may be uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is the price of rebuilding. Next, define a 72-hour routine. You need to transform these 3 days into a marathon of absolute focus. No social media as a distraction, no complaining about life, no comparing your situation to others. Wake up early, eat with discipline, set daily goals, call X contacts, send Y proposals, try Z cash generating ideas. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about constant movement. At the end of the 72 hours, will you have results? Yes, not necessarily great values, but great learnings, and possibly the first signs of recovery. More important than immediate money, these actions. Build your fighting mentality, a mentality that doesn't wait for the situation to improve before taking action. It acts to change the situation. And here's the secret that no one tells you: rebuilding from scratch is an advantage. You don't have bureaucracy, corporate debts, or rigid structures. You have freedom, agility, willpower. These 72 hours are your testing ground, and each small result is a victory that adds up. While others wait for miracles, you build a reaction. And this, more than any brilliant plan, is what separates those who prosper again from those who never get back on their feet. In the next chapter, we'll understand how to transform this first impulse into a strategy for accelerated growth, even with little money.
Did you like these strategies to achieve financial freedom? Then leave a like and subscribe for more content that will transform your life.
Chapter 3. How to turn this first impulse into an accelerated growth strategy.
Because generating cash is just the beginning. The real challenge is to multiply it intelligently. Are you ready to take the next leap? Then stay with me, because the most powerful secret of all is yet to come and will only be revealed at the end of this video. Chapter 3. Accelerated Growth. How to multiply income with few resources. Now that you have broken the inertia and generated your first results, it is time to go further. This is the most neglected step by those who are starting over: how to multiply the little they have achieved. Most people, when generating a small amount of money, think about relief. Buy a snack, pay a bill, relax. But you will do things differently. You will think about leverage. The question now is how to make this money work for you, even if it is still little. Oh, and here comes the key to accelerated growth: strategic reinvestment. All incoming funds need to be partially reinvested in 3 pillars: tools, marketing, and training. Tools are everything that can improve your delivery. Basic equipment, access to platforms, improved service. Marketing is what attracts new customers. It could be a cheap boost on social media, a virtual card, a simple website, or even a word-of-mouth campaign. And training is where you grow the most. Invest in knowledge that returns money directly. Short courses, specific tutorials, practical mentoring. But be careful. It's not about spending, it's about planting with strategy. Practical example: you generated $300 with a quick service. Instead of spending it all, set aside $100 to reinvest. Buy a better microphone, make a more professional presentation video, promote it to local customers. The return? It could be $800 the following week. And so, you begin the multiplication cycle. Now comes the trick: scale with simplicity. Scaling is not about creating a company. It's about repeating what worked with consistency and greater reach. If something made you a profit, refine the process and repeat. Create a weekly routine for prospecting, delivery, and reinvestment. Create simple systems: client spreadsheet, message templates, quick responses. Automate what you can, delegate what is possible, but always keep the focus on what gives direct returns. At this stage, your mindset changes from survival to conscious growth. And do you know what happens? Opportunities start to appear because people connect with the energy of action. Partners see you as someone trustworthy. Clients recommend you. Your presence becomes noticeable. But be careful with the traps that sabotage scaling. First, increasing your standard of living too soon. Avoid this. Keep your structure light. Every real reinvested now is worth 10 times more in the future. Second, diversifying without a solid foundation. Don't start 1,000 ideas. Focus on what is working and go deeper. Third, losing financial control. Create a simple control system right away: income, expenses, profits, and reinvestments. This will give you clarity, security, and predictability. And here comes a key point: positioning. You need to start building an image of authority, even with few resources. Post simple content with what you are learning. Show behind the scenes, share small victories, be transparent about the process. People buy from those they trust, and trust is born from constant and true presence. At the same time, start thinking about scalable models. It could be an ebook, group consulting, a course, a digital product. something that can be sold several times without depending 100% of your time. But only start this when your basic income stream is already working. Scaling something that has not yet been validated is a recipe for frustration. The beauty of accelerated growth is in its simplicity. Repeat, refine, reinvest. You don't need luck. You need consistency. In just a few weeks, you can go from despair to stability. And in just a few months, turn that stability into a solid and profitable business. This happens every day to those who apply these strategies. But what really differentiates those who succeed from those who give up? The ability to keep up the pace, even on difficult days. Those who understand that every dollar reinvested intelligently today avoids 10 days of stagnation tomorrow. And what's more, those who recognize that their mind is their greatest asset. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how to protect your new construction against relapses, internal sabotage, and impulsive decisions. Because it's not enough to grow, you need to protect your evolution. And in the last chapter, we'll reveal the most powerful secret of all, the same one that millionaire families have used for generations to maintain wealth, even starting from scratch. Keep going until the end. The definitive turnaround is just around the corner.
Chapter 4. How to protect your new construction against relapses.
Getting this far was already an achievement. You've broken the collapse, generated income, reinvested, and started growing. But now comes the silent challenge that knocks down even the most prepared: how to avoid falling again. Most people who rebuild go back to square one for one reason: they didn't protect their mindset and their money. Growing requires focus, but maintaining requires an emotional strategy. And the first protection you need to activate is emotional. In times of crisis, our brain goes into survival mode. When the situation improves, it seeks immediate pleasure as a reward. This explains why, after a period of progress, many people start spending impulsively again. Emotional shielding begins by recognizing this pattern and creating a new mindset, one of continuity. You are no longer making ends meet. You are building a legacy. Each choice now needs to answer a simple question: does this bring me closer to or further away from financial freedom? This question is your daily shield. The second type of shielding is financial. Literally, have at least 2 bank accounts, one for day-to-day transactions, another for savings and investments. Never mix operating money with construction money. Every time you receive income, automatically set aside a percentage for what I call the Freedom Fund. This fund is untouchable. It grows silently, and it is what will guarantee you peace in difficult times. Start with 10%, then increase it to 20%, until you live on less and invest more. This account is your invisible fortress. And here's a piece of advice that seems simple, but changes everything. Have visual goals. A piece of paper on the wall, a progress chart, a number stuck on the mirror. The brain needs to see to believe. If you can't see where you're going, any distraction becomes a reason to stop. The third shield is relational. Your results are directly affected by the people you spend time with. If you've started to grow again, but you spend time with people who bring you down, you'll soon regress. This doesn't mean cutting ties. It means creating boundaries. Start surrounding yourself, even if it's virtually, with people who talk about money with maturity, who encourage your evolution, who celebrate your constancy. Participate in communities, forums, online events. Build your new environment. Environment is destiny. The fourth shield is structural. Your business, your service, your source of income needs a minimum structure. A cash flow control, even if it's in a spreadsheet. A service, model, an organization system. The more structure, the less you depend on improvisation. And the less improvisation, the less room for chaos to return. The fifth shield is routine. A healthy routine is the anchor of your new life. Set a time to sleep, wake up, study, sell, produce. This creates internal stability. Many people think that freedom is doing whatever you want. But true freedom comes from the discipline that leads you to constant results. And here's the detail that no one tells you. Financial success doesn't collapse all at once. It rots little by little, with a small wrong decision, an emotional purchase, a bad partnership, a daily excuse. That's why your shield needs to be daily, with small rituals, small reminders, small conscious pauses. Read something about money every day. Review your goals weekly. Review your mistakes monthly. If you do this, you will become almost unshakable. And do you know what's even more interesting? This shielding phase isn't just about protection. It's also about preparing for the final leap. Because those who learn to maintain their wealth are ready to climb safely. In the next and final chapter, we'll reveal the secret that transforms stability into a legacy. The strategy used by families who have spent generations maintaining wealth without working, just managing it intelligently. It's the most important pillar of the series, the most hidden and yet the most powerful. Stay until the end. This next step is what separates those who just survive from those who build a new financial history, solid, continuous, and eternal.
Want to achieve wealth and freedom? Start now. Leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next tips.
Chapter 5. The Final Secret. How Rich Families Maintain Their Fortunes Without Working.
You've come this far. You've rebuilt. You've protected yourself. You're on the move. But now comes the key point, the turning point. What differentiates those who just recover from those who reach a level where money works for them? What do truly rich families do, generation after generation, to never have to start from scratch again? The secret is not just in how much they earn, but in what they do with what they have. And the name of this secret is wealth system. While most people live off direct effort, working, selling, exchanging time for money, millionaire families build systems that keep their fortune alive, active, and growing. Think of something simple, a tree. A rich tree is planted once, watered with discipline, and then it bears fruit automatically. Most, however, harvest and pull out the roots every month. The rich don't live off their earnings. They live off interest, and they reinvest the earnings. This is the invisible cycle, accumulating assets, living off the income they generate, and reinvesting part of that income in more assets. But what are these assets? They are automated businesses, rental properties, stocks, funds, royalties, copyrights, shares, any structure that continues to generate money without requiring constant presence. The mistake most people make when starting over is wanting to start earning money again quickly and forgetting to plant assets. Even in times of reconstruction, rich families maintain the rule. Part of the income always goes to the asset base. It doesn't matter if it's little. The habit is more important than the value. And here's the most important part, ongoing education. Families that maintain wealth teach their children about money from an early age. They explain interest, investments, cash flow, long-term, vision. They don't just inherit assets, they inherit mentality, and they create structures such as wills, holdings, family foundations to ensure that assets are never dispersed. You can start this today, even with little. Create an asset portfolio, even if it is symbolic at first. A spreadsheet, a map. Name your portfolio. Give it a strong title: Freedom of this year, Family Legacy, Total Independence. This generates belonging, clarity, direction. Second step, define clear rules. For example, 20% of all extra income goes to this portfolio. 50% of my business profits go to reinvestment in assets. 100% of financial gifts received become contributions. This turns money into purpose. Now comes the trick. Put a date on the goals. I want $100,000 invested by December of next year. I want to buy a rental property within 18 months. I want to have 3 sources of passive income by my next birthday. With dates, the brain goes into execution mode. Without them, you just dream. And dreaming without action is what got you here before the fall. Another secret? Document your journey. The rich keep reports. They hold family meetings. They monitor their assets. You can do this with a simple notebook, but do it. How much did I have last month? How much do I have now? Which assets have grown? Which haven't? This clarity accelerates progress. And what's more, it eliminates the risk of financial relapse due to disorganization. Now, the final element of this secret, the one that few apply, but that guarantees perpetuation. Owner mentality. The poor spend, the rich manage. The poor blame the system. The rich learn to operate within it. The poor work for a salary. The rich make money work for them. Even in a scenario of total reconstruction, you can adopt the mindset of someone who creates real wealth. Ask powerful questions every day. Does this bring me closer to my legacy? Will this purchase generate a return or a distraction? How can I turn this income into a lasting asset? And here is the biggest lesson of all. It's not about how much you have. It's about what you do with what you have. Wealthy families build wealth with discipline, vision, and a system. And so can you, even starting today, even from scratch. The last secret has been revealed. But now, the action is yours. The financial collapse was just a chapter. The legacy begins in the next. What about you? Will you continue to just survive? Or will you transform your story into a legacy that time will not erase?
You've been through moments of pain. You've felt like you've hit rock bottom. But the good news is that this isn't your final reality. The journey you've just begun isn't just about recovering what was lost, but about transforming your life into something even bigger and more grandiose. If you've come this far, it's because you have the courage to change, the desire to start over, and the mindset of a true winner. The truth is that starting over financially isn't just a matter of numbers. It's a revolution in the way you see the world, a profound transformation that begins within you. The path to wealth begins with a simple decision: to act, to take control of your financial life, to invest in your own future. And most importantly, you're not alone on this journey. With each step you take, you'll be closer to achieving the financial freedom you so desire. Start now. Be the change you seek, and know that if you follow the teachings I've shared, success will be inevitable. A financial restart is your starting point for a life of achievements, freedom, and stability. So, what are you waiting for? Don't put off until tomorrow. What can change your life today? Let's do it together, because the future is now, and it starts with you. If you are ready to take control, to apply each tip, each strategy that I have shared, then victory will be yours. Start now, achieve your wealth, and build a success story like you never imagined. The power to transform your life is in your hands. Let's start this journey right now. The first step is yours.